Canoga Avenue, just north of Satakoy.
Tomorrow on Home and Family, we are welcoming actress Allie Liebert from Hallmark Channel's Cooking with Love. And Maria is here with DIY hand warmers. If you've ever had the chance to walk the aisles of an animal shelter, you know it's a sight that is not easy to take in. The animals that you see there, they're often scared, they're cold, many of them are wet, and they certainly all are begging for love and affection. So here today is our pet rescue expert, Larissa. She has brought Eileen and Brad Smolson of Operation Blankets of Love, and we're going to talk all about that.
Yeah. You're welcome, guys. They're amazing. And, I could go on and on for about 10 minutes, but I won't because it's TV to send you guys out. But here's the thing, it's cold everywhere. Anytime you've turned on the TV in the morning time to watch the news, the headline is the cold temperatures across the country. And a lot of people think about keeping other people safe, stay indoors, stay warm, especially if you're older or really young. A lot of people forget about animals that are in shelters. They don't have the ability all the time to do that. And a lot of shelters are outdoors. They don't have comfortable surroundings. And, growing up, I did a lot of donation drives myself because, of course, I'm, a crazy dog lady. And so I was actually written up in my local paper about it one year, which was really exciting. It was really cool. But so that's how I came in contact with Operation Blankets of Love years ago, and they just do an amazing, amazing job.
Thank you. Eileen and Brad, you were here a few years ago, but even since then, your charity has grown tremendously. For the people at home who may not know your story, can you tell us how it all began?
Sure. Thank you, Debbie. Well, it all started almost exactly 10 years ago today, where I went to visit a local shelter. They built a $20 million shelter from an ugly pound. So I went in January, and it happened to be rainy, and I saw all the dogs were freezing, and there were no blankets. So, and it was a Sunday, so nobody was really there in charge. So by 24 hours, I found the person in charge, and I found out there was no budget for any bedding, and that's across the country, county and city shelters. So I said, well, I can't imagine my little dog Ginger, who I adopted, freezing in a shelter like that. So I said, I have to do something, and that night I thought of Operation Blankets of Love to collect recycled, gently used blankets and towels for that shelter.
And it took off.
And then you went from shelter to shelter to shelter.
Yes.
It never stopped.
Yes. There's 6 city shelters in LA and 6 county. And now we do, how many do we do, Brad?
What we do, about 1,000 homeless animals a month benefit from Operation Blankets of Love.
I know I'll speak on behalf of my dogs, Fred and Norbert. They're both blanket inspectors. They are officially stamped with that because they love curling up in a blanket. But you say it's more than just about warmth and comfort. What else do these blankets
Okay, well, thank you for asking, Mark. Experts and studies actually show when a dog or a cat are in a shelter, they're miserable, and their immune system goes down, and they're shaking, and they're hovering in the corner, and nobody wants that dog or cat. But as soon as you put a blanket down, they snuggle in it. It could be a cat or a dog. And guess what? The pictures show that's actually before and after. People ask, how do I make that dog smile? A soft blanket. Their immune system gets strong, they're happier, and reminds a potential adopter of their home setting. So we save lives because they become more adoptable.
One of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize is big dogs, especially that sit on cement, get sores. They get pressure sores, just like a human would.
Sure.
And a lot of times, potential adopters walk by and see that it's sores, and that makes that animal look a lot older and run down than it actually is.
True.
And they overlook them, whereas that's because they've been sitting there maybe for 6 months. So just a little
blanket and a pet bed makes a difference.
That's true. I mean, think about
Life-saving.
the endorphins in the animal, the same way it would be for us. I mean, it all started with the blankets, but you both have done so much since you started 10 years ago. You now work with veterans to help the veterans get supplies and food for their animals' necessities that they may need. You both go to disaster sites where there are so many homeless animals that do need homes, and you help them find homes, and you also give them supplies. And just most recently, which I think is so cool, you created an interactive coloring book for kids to teach them about animals.
Yes, well, I'm very excited. It took me 3 years to do this, and I have to mention Lush Incorporated. It's a cosmetic company.
Yeah, we know
does that.
Lush.
Yeah, they don't test on animals. They gave me the starting funds. It talks about pet responsibility. How many times do you see someone with their cute dog on their lap while they're driving? Could you imagine if they stopped short, or, I mean, the dog would be definitely a missile, or would go right, or the airbag would harm the
I'm
dog.
going to remind everybody, it's
Yes.
bilingual.
Yes.
So it'll go good in schools, and in shelters, we'll be passing them out for
Right now.
families that adopt dogs.
It's very
Right.
important
And
because
cats.
I know at Christmas time, things like everybody wants to adopt a pet,
Yeah.
but when you have little ones, they don't understand the responsibility, and it's a lot.
Right.
It can be very overwhelming, especially if you don't know what to do, if you've never had a pet before.
Exactly. And, 10 years ago, I started going, because I found out, as Larissa knows, there's hardly any humane education in schools. So it's now also proven that when you teach them how to be a pet owner that's responsible, spay and neuter your dog, and
Feed
have
and
Yeah.
water and walk the dog.
Yeah.
you know,
Right, right.
Take care of the cat properly.
Exactly.
Litter.
Well, have less animals ending up in the shelters.
Yeah, and you'll have more children that have more empathy.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh,
That's what we
absolutely.
want.
What,
There's a
Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say you didn't even like animals when you first started this. And she was never an animal person, but you were a teacher, and so you put the 2 and 2 together, and look at what's
Yes.
grown. It's
Oh my
pretty.
goodness.
I mean, now
That
you
was
love
before
animals,
Ginger.
but
Ginger's 15.
it's just ironic.
wow.
Ginger.
She's my first pet, everybody.
What?
And anybody who's middle-aged can always change their career and do something. If you believe in it, you can make it happen. Right? Brad, tell them who else besides, how many
Okay,
shelters?
so, well, we had dozens of shelters, but I just want to say this last year has been incredibly busy. 4,000 pounds of supplies that we collected went to Hurricane Harvey. Texas, 1,500 pounds went to Mexico City for the earthquake. We were up in the Sonoma fires months ago.
Yep.
And then the Ventura in LA County. We've been busy. We've been on the front lines.
You do such wonderful work.
I don't know. There's a saying, a pebble in a pond, and
Right.
it just creates these
Yeah.
waves. And
Right.
you guys have been the pebble, and Larissa is part of that pond because
thank
you.
your efforts have really resonated with you, and you decided to take some action.
Yes, why not, right?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, we here at Home and Family and Hallmark are just animal lovers. We want every animal to find a home. We say
Right.
that each and every day.
Right.
And why not put together a donation drive of our own? So everybody went digging through
No
closets.
way.
and
Did you hear that?
cupboards,
Huh?
And I think Paige, our other wonderful
Yes.
animal
Look at
lover,
Come on in.
is going to wheel in. And this is from all of us here at Hallmark.
And that's not even all of it, just
That's
so you know, it's
not-
all that she could push.
Yes.
There's more in the back.
This is going home with
Thank you.
People don't realize, in the summer, people say, why do you need blankets? Larissa, tell them why they need blankets in the summer in the shelter.
Well, because they're hosing them down a lot of the time to clean the shelters all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so it doesn't matter the weather and the temperature. They're always getting wet, and it's just that comfort. And a lot of babies are born in the summertime.
And something to
as well.
snuggle up to.
Yes.
That's what they
That's
need.
what I was going to say. You sleep
Yeah.
with a blanket or a sheet
Exactly.
in the
Yeah.
summer, don't you? So
Yeah.
And how many sleep with their animals?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
I don't need a blanket when I'm with friends. Warm.
3 cats, a dog, and I
And Eileen, thank you both so much for
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information on how to help this wonderful organization keep going or donate dog items, all you have to do is go to OperationBlanketsOfLove.org.
Next up, nutritionist Vanessa Rosetto is here. She has got a dish that's big on taste and good for your waist. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, come back and I'll show you how to make